Now, from current tragedy, we turn to tragedy of the past. It was the deadliest terrorist attack ever on U.S. soil, September 11th, 2001, when al-Qaeda hijackers flew planes into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York and the Pentagon outside Washington.
A fourth plane crashed in a field in Pennsylvania, as we well know, and 12 years later, that day still resonates across the world, including here at VOA.
Reporters who were here on that Tuesday will never forget covering it. I talked with two of our veteran journalists, national correspondent Jim Malone and radio anchor and reporter Sarah Williams, about what they remember.
This is a special report. Been a series of apparent terrorist attacks in New York and Washington. During the next hour, Sarah Williams. Stay with us here on VOA News Now.
Go to the Trade Center.
I was in the VOA newsroom. I was watching it with a colleague. The first plane had gone into one of the towers. I said to my colleague, I believe it's terrorism and I think bin Laden is behind it.
I was in an office here on the first floor, and then I heard a report, a plane has hit the World Trade Center. I think I went to look at a television, and we saw the second plane hit, and then I think everyone realized this was a terrorist attack.
I saw the plane hit the building.
We heard a big bang.
Now, both of you being journalists and bearing this responsibility of providing information to the world in a time like this when there's so much chaos going on, and then of course this city also being part of the attacks with the Pentagon being hit. What was that like for you, not really knowing what was coming next?
Just leaving the VOA headquarters here in Washington, getting to my home on the subway system, there was this sense of nervousness, of shock, fear.
They just think there's going to be another explosion.
In the newsroom, there was really like chaos or pandemonium. Everyone was scrambling around trying to figure out what was going on.
And Sarah, you mentioned earlier going outside in this city and how it just was a feeling like no other. Can you describe that?
Yes, that was later in the day. That would have been probably in the late afternoon. And I walked outside the building, and it was just eerie how quiet it was. There were no planes flying over. It was sort of like, I used to say, a snow day without snow, because it was an eerie, real, almost haunted feeling.
And Jim, you went to New York. You had a bit of a delay trying to get there. If you can describe what it was like getting there and then what you encountered when you did arrive at Ground Zero.
These scenes come rushing back in my mind. Ambulances would roll by slowly. Obviously, there were victims inside. And on the streets of New York, people would stop. They'd put their hands over their hearts. They'd take off their hats. And there was just an eerie silence. The actual site, getting close to Ground Zero, was something like out of a Hollywood movie, with the ash in the air, people walking around with masks on so they wouldn't breathe it in.
You're covering this as journalists, but you're still citizens. So how do you balance those two responsibilities?
Well, I know that there were some colleagues here, two of them. One colleague, her husband, worked at the State Department. Earlier on in the day, there were rumors the State Department had been hit. It wasn't, but she was very concerned about him. Another colleague of mine, her husband worked in the Pentagon. Fortunately, he was fine. But there were a lot of concerns about what was really going on. And then as the day went on, we heard a fourth plane had crashed in Pennsylvania. And you just feel so sorry for people, for what had happened. You just feel so sort of helpless, really.
I spent more than a week in New York, going to Ground Zero every day, interviewing people, survivors. One of the toughest days was a group of family members had gathered with pictures of their loved ones, family members who were missing. And they wanted to speak to the news media and to try to get the word out that their brother, their daughter, their son was missing, and they have the picture.
I just want to know if my wife is alive. I was on 82. 82? Yeah.
Many of these folks were very emotional. They were crying. Now, as journalists, we all kind of learn to sort of subvert that a bit. We have to do our jobs. We have to report the story, take account of what people say, and report it. So you you build up a little immunity to that, frankly. But I knew I was close to breaking when I was interviewing a man in a very simple voice. He was talking about his missing stepdaughter. And you just never know when it's going to hit you. And what happened was his voice caught for just a second. And I almost lost it at that point.
Most Americans, unless they had been soldiers, are not familiar with seeing civilians die like that. That's something that Americans should be aware of, that you cannot take your safety for granted.
And again, Sarah Williams and Jim Malone, two of the many VOA journalists who covered 9/11. And Ron, you know, it's incredible how seeing those images so many years later now, it still almost feels like it happened just yesterday. I can remember exactly where I was in that moment watching the Twin Towers, sitting in class, and none of us really realizing at all at that moment how much just this one singular event would have such a huge impact on the rest of our lives.
It was surreal. I remember I was in Pakistan and we were filming a TV program, and we had these big screens where CNN was playing, you know, what was being played. And it was just shocking. Everyone just dropped everything and we couldn't work. Just had to watch what was going on.
Yeah, remarkable.
Incredible.
Yeah.